everyone, my name is Shivya Gupta, and in this video, I'll help you understand in detail the concept of payment aggregators and the process to obtain the PA registration from the RBI. The increase in digital transactions due to the rising e-commerce in India has further increased the overall payment volumes in the country. This has also led to a need for merchants and e-commerce sellers to have an integrated payment system that supports all kinds of payment channels such as UPI, debit and credit cards, net banking, etc. Payment aggregators simplify this integration and allow merchants to collect payments from their customers without setting up an extensive payment system or merchant bank account of their own. So what exactly is a payment aggregator? A payment aggregator is a payment service provider that combines different payment acceptance services or gateways and offers them to e-commerce sellers and merchants for their customer payments. With a PA, a merchant can receive payments from its clients via different methods such as debit and credit card, UPI, QR code, net banking, etc. This way, payment aggregator or merchant aggregator eliminates the need for e-commerce platforms or merchants to create and integrate their own separate payment system. There are different timelines that are followed in a transaction done via a payment aggregator. The first is TP, the date of charge or debit to the customer's account against the purchase of goods or services from a merchant. The second is TS, that is the date of intimation by the merchant to the PA about shipment of goods. The third is TD, that is the date of confirmation by the merchant to the PA about the delivery of such goods. And the last is TR, the date of expiry of refund period as fixed by the merchant. Payment aggregators in India are regulated by the Guidelines on Regulations of Payment Aggregators and Payment Gateways of 2009 and the Payment and Settlement Systems Act of 2007. All banks and non-banks that wish to operate as a payment aggregator need to obtain the PA license from the RBI. However, banks do not need to obtain a separate NOC from the RBI. Further, a PA can only deal with merchants that are physically present in India. There are certain additional registration requirements that an applicant must fulfill in order to file an application for the payment aggregator license. The applicant company must be a company registered under the Companies Act of 2013. It must obtain an NOC and authorization from the RBI under the PSS Act in Form A and submit the same to the DPSS within 45 days of obtaining the NOC. It must also submit a 5-year detailed business plan, have a proper mechanism against money laundering and mechanism for grievance redressal or dispute resolution and comply with the minimum capital requirements. Now let's come to the minimum capital requirements to obtain a PA license. A new applicant must have a minimum net worth of Rs 15 crores at the time of the authorization and attain a net worth of Rs 25 crore by the end of the third financial year. The net worth of Rs 25 crore must be maintained at all times after that. Further, the applicant must also submit certain requisite documents along with its Form A application. These include incorporation certificate, with the MOA mentioning the proposed activity of the business as operating as a PA, the ID and address proof of the directors, the DSC and DIN of the directors, address proof of the registered place of business, bank account details of the company, a comprehensive 5-year business plan, and code testing reporting by a software agency. Now let's talk about the governance of payment aggregators after obtaining the PA license from the RBI. The promoters must fulfill the fit and proper criteria prescribed by the RBI. All agreements between the PA, the merchants, acquiring banks and other stakeholders must clearly define their roles and responsibilities relating to the handling of complaints, refunds and failed transactions, return policy, customer grievance redressal, etc. Payment aggregators also need to comply with the KYC, AML and CFT guidelines issued by the RBI as well as the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act of 2002 and PML rules. The PA must also have a board-approved policy for merchant onboarding, undertake background checks of the merchants, check their websites, and ensure compliance with the PCI DSS and PA DSS standards. A non-bank PA also needs to maintain the amount collected by them in an escrow account with any scheduled commercial bank. It must also have a strong risk management system necessary to meet the challenges of the fraud and ensure customer protection. A payment aggregator also needs to mandatorily comply with the different baseline technology and security guidelines of the RBI, which we will discuss in a separate video. Now let's come to how Enterslice can help you obtain the payment aggregator license from the RBI. At the pre-documentation stage, our regulatory experts will guide you and draw a perfect plan for your PA licensing. Next, our experts will take care of all the requirements to obtain the NOC from the RBI and submit your PA license application along with the needed documentation. After this, our experts will draft all other documents and business plan to be submitted along with your application and RBI requirements for reply. With Enterslice, you can kickstart your payment aggregator business hassle-free without worrying about the technicalities of the RBI registration process. To know more about our regulatory, compliance and advisory services, please post your comments below or contact us on the information shown on the screen. Please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more such helpful videos.